in the past, you've had, you know, you got your milestone, and then you have your SLOs, and then you're going to have your student growth measures. I think in 2020 or something, that's when it's going to really start, you know, separating. And so up to this point, we've been using the mean score. We've been using the district means. So when you come to me and you do your summative, where it says student growth percentile, we just use the district means. The district means was like a 3. Okay, so everybody get a 3 for their student growth measure. We use the district means. The district means is compiled from all of the milestone testing, and then they come up with the district means, and then they come up with the school means as well. So we just use the district means. All right. So when you do your SLOs, we have a choice. You can, those of you that do SLOs, you can continue with SLOs, or you can use the district or the school mean score and discontinue SLOs. But we have to, and it can be an individual thing. You may say, I want to keep doing SLOs, then you just redo your SLO and then you issue your SLO to whatever class you want to, or you can say, I don't want to continue doing SLOs. When we come to our summative, we'll just use either the school's means or the district means. So that's where we are. So, but you do the SLOs, and your SLOs don't come out like you want to. You can't flip and say, oh, I want to use the mean score. So it's either SLOs or school means and district means. So
you change classes. Whatever number I give Karen Wright for your course number, I cannot. We had something we needed to change it. She wouldn't let me.
Right.
We can't change it. We can't say this class is slow.
So what we have to decide, and what you all have to decide, those of you that give, of course, our school means comes from math and English. The district school means come from the milestones. And then if you want to do SLOs, then you have your SLO. So I'm talking to you SLO people, all but English and math. Who wants to continue with the SLO? All right, Mr. Carroll.
I'll let you know.
All right. Now you're going to have to recreate, because y'all got new standards. So you'll have to get with Ms. Ingham and recreate your SLOs. You got to create your own way.
Can I talk to you about it later? Or can I think about it and let you know?
Yeah, just talk about it. All right, who else? You got those?
Remember, I got it.
I can't hear you. I hope.
I have to do one on.
Yes, you do.
Yes. You don't have a
Well, the school means all the way up since we started milestones has been a 3. District means, I mean. District means. And that's what we've been using all the way till your last summative. Every one of your summatives have been on district means, and they've been a 3.
What's the scale? 1 to 4?
1 to 4.
1 to 4.
4 is the scale. 1 to 4 is the scale. Now it's completely up to you. I just have to tell. Ms. Vickers as soon as possible. All right.
So we use district means this way?
Up until this point, I've been using district means, but in 2020, next year, it's going to really be a SGP. Meaning based on your SLO if you have one, or based on the school means or the district means, whichever one is higher. I just need to know.
I mean, just saying it don't matter.
Yeah, well, at the end of this year, you'll be doing your SGP. That's why we need to know. So when I do your summary.
When was the last time district means below 3?
Never. Not since I've been doing it. District means been below 3. I just need to know if you want to do your SLO. That's all.
No.
Change your mind there? So we got Mr. Carroll, and you gonna pick okay. And if for some reason, listen, there's no pressure. It don't matter to me one way or the other. It is completely up to y'all. I just need to know so I can tell Ms. Vickers at the board. That's the only reason and Doc wanted you all to make that decision, not me. So so I'll just, Mr. Carroll got him, and we'll just wait to hear from you. Everybody else is a mean score? Everybody else a mean score? Okay. All right. All right, let's talk about our progressive discipline procedures and discipline scenarios if we have time. What time is lunch? What time is lunch? 12:30 to 1. I did backwards plan, y'all. And to put it in case anything go over the time. We still got an hour. All right, but if I can finish,
down there, there's not one in there.
all right, our progressive, y'all know we're under a progressive discipline model. We did not do PBIS. We did Allen's behavior discipline plan instead of PBIS, because I think ours worked pretty darn good. Now we got a thing they call wings that you saw Dr. Gunder attended. That's because the district as a whole is no longer under PBIS, but you still have to show for grant purposes, you still have to show what are you doing discipline-wise and what's your discipline procedure. So it was wings. I don't remember what wings meant. Somebody got there, I think I spelled it out on there. Washington, what does wings mean, Doc?
Waco instilling new generation skills.
Waco instilling new generation skills. And what we have to do is, you want to talk about that, Doc, a little bit about, I know he just went to the meeting, so he probably know about just as much as I know. But anyway, we'll meet once a month, and we'll form a wings committee. And in the wings committee, we'll go over the discipline data monthly, and then also as a faculty and staff, we'll go over the discipline data monthly. And then we'll also, every 9 weeks, we'll start back with our counseling sessions with your assistant principal, where we'll go over, where we'll look at, your discipline, your attendance like we used to. We missed it last year for some reason, but we'll get back on our counseling sessions with you all, so you'll be up in discipline. All right, our progressive discipline procedures. Our philosophy is that we're going to go with the 95% or the 97%. We're going to reward that percent, but we're going to encourage the 3 to 5% to jump on board with that 95 to 97% that's doing what they're supposed to. That's why PBIS didn't appeal to me. You're not going to give bucks and chicken feathers and gizzards and stuff as a reward. You're just going to expect these students to behave and do what they're supposed to. If they're not, then we're going to help them. And in our plan, it's been working pretty good. Help Sergeant, I'm struggling right there, man. Stand up, Sergeant. Struggling. Sleep out here or something. But But that's our culture, is discipline and no disruptive in the teaching process. Please don't let students disrupt the teaching process. You know, you want to give them an opportunity to correct their behavior, but if they continue, then you need to get them out of there so you can go ahead on with instruction. We do not allow students to disrupt the teaching process. I think by now a lot of them know that. Like I said, you get that small percent, and we got to get these parents in to help us with their child. But we have our 6-step plan, and on our discipline referrals, the 6-step plans are spelled out, and 2 of those steps are some form of parental contact. So you see it on here, that's the big form, and it has just some ideas of what the 6-step plan would be. Please don't forget any parental contact goes into the contact tab in Infinite Campus. And where if I meet with the parent, then I can go to that tab, because a lot of them say, well, you didn't call me and I didn't know. A lot of times if I meet with them and you're not there, then I can go to that Infinite Campus tab and talk about how many times they've been contacted. Parents will use that as a, I won't say weapon, but they will use that as a tool to try to get their children out of some of the fact that we hadn't contacted them. Because what they'll say is, well, if I had known about it, I could have done something about it. However, we have other things in place to contact. We try to stay away from these, if at all possible. We want to use these for just the major stuff, because you have your counseling forms that you can use, and just something that you just need to counsel them on, feel like you need to counsel them on for documentation. And you have your 1-hour interventions. 1-hour interventions. If you use these properly, you probably won't ever have to use one of these, unless it's just something where they done just, their brains fell out their head. But the 1-hour interventions, you say zig and they zag, you say zig again and they zag, put them on the 1-hour form and sit them on down. They come to the office, they go to ISS for that period just as a holding place. It's a timeout. It's a timeout for you, it's a timeout for the student. And then when that bell rings, they continue on with their day. All right, that's what a 1-hour slip is. They're just not getting it. And today is just, they're just having a bad day with you, but I think the rest of their period is going to be fine. Every 3 of these in the office does a parent conference. So every time they get 3 of these, we call the parent conference. Last year we did what we call engagements. And what the engagement is we bring the parent in and we go over this, we go over the 3, and we see if we can redirect the student and change their behavior. All right? The madder the parent is, the better it is, because we want to inconvenience them and we want them to help us with their child. We're not going to suffer alone. So we want them to help us with their child, and they get mad now. They come off work or they had their lips poked out. But that means that when we get in there, they're going to help us so they don't have to be called back up here. That's the whole purpose to engagements. All right. This past year, we did over 1,500 engagements. And that's talking anything. Every time we get them in there, we talk about not only what we're engaging them for, but we have a checklist thanks to the SACS committee. We talk about grades, we talk about attendance, we talk about other discipline issues, and we also give the student an opportunity to talk about anything that's going on with them that we need to address. Okay, so it's a counseling session, and it's an opportunity for us to help that child redirect their behavior without being, without it being really, really punitive, unless they keep getting it. So that's part of our progression. Like I said, all you do is put them on here, and we keep counting in the office. That's what that box is for. Ms. Walker keeps count, and we know that when it's 3, then it's a parent conference. So we do what we call an engagement and intervention, and what the engagement means that they don't go back to class until the conference is held. Now, a lot of times the parents are here the next morning. A lot of times the parents come in that evening because they don't want the child sitting in ISS as a place to hold them until that parent comes in. So about 95% of the time, those engagements are done pretty quick. Every now and then we get a parent that gets frustrated and they'll leave them in there for 5 days. And they'll come and say, I meant to leave them in there for 5 days. But we don't allow them to go over 5 days. If it's over 5 days, then they go home to a parent.
I have a question.
Okay.
Is it 3 from all their classes or just 3 from?
3 from 3. If they get one in first period, third period, and fifth period, it's a parent conference.
And then do y'all have to verify contact information in the engagement?
We can, yes ma'am. If you cannot get in contact with a parent, just call Ms. Smith and we'll be able to get you some information. And like you said, when that parent comes in, we'll make a notation that are these numbers in here correct? That's a good question. All right. So any questions on 1 hour? Go ahead, Mr. Bush.
Before the 1 hour, is there parent contact that's required for that, or that's, they just multiply that particular day?
Yeah. This is a day-by-day thing where you know, we want you to, and this is counted as one of your 6 steps, you know. A parent contact, I call the parent and I leave a message. That's a contact. I send an email, document that. I call and the mailbox is full or has not been set up yet. That's an attempt. You just document that. And in the note you put, try to call parent, mailbox has not been set up yet. Okay? So it's the attempt as well as trying to contact the parent. But you can't get them, trust me, they're gonna come in when we start engaging with the engagement. So we have engagement ISS, and then we have engagement OSS. So engagement OSS is just a timeout at home, and they can't come back to the school until the parent brings them. Okay? So if Alan Gray gets on an engagement, he has until the next morning to get the parent in. He will not come back to your class. He will continue on with his schedule. But if his parent don't come either in that evening or that next morning, then Alan Gray goes into ISS timeout until the parent comes. Okay? One thing that will not happen, if you send a student out, you will not see that student again that day. You don't send them back. We keep them out, and that just cuts down on a lot of confusion. Daily mentoring, we started this just a few years ago. We kind of dropped off our real chronic students. We're going to get back with this. And what it is, it's just for one of our chronic students, daily mentoring is they choose a mentor or a person, an adult, any adult in the building who they have a good relationship with. I had a young lady, I remember a couple years ago, there's a 5-minute check before school started. You know, you can be walking through the cafeteria and just check before their day start. Everything good, need anything, just so they can get off to a good start. And they can be anybody of their choosing. We don't pick them. It's just whoever they feel like they have a good relationship with, that they can check in the mornings too, and then you can help them get off to a quick. Take about 2 minutes. Everything good? Nothing happened? You all right? Got your belt? Got your ID? You know, whatever. And then you assist them before the day gets started, and before they have a problem. But when that program starts, if you get chosen as a daily mentor, we'll let you know. That means that student